Welcome back to another edition of Everything Football 62. I'm your host, John Big Tex Johnson, aka Uncle Tex, aka Professor Tex. This is a real quick one right here. You guys know, like last week, I did a show about why Lester Hayes should be in the Hall of Fame. Broke down the numbers, the whole 9 yards, and everything like that, and it's a travesty why he's not in the Hall. But one of the things I don't think. Because like last year, I was just like, damn, they called him the judge. I remember the poster back in the day and stuff like that. I remember they had the little posters and shit like that back in the day for those that remember that. And it was like, well, damn, I said they called him the judge and whatnot, and you got it, how the stuff was and whatnot. But it's a story behind that. And I'm going to break that story down to you on what it was and why he was called the judge. Remember, Lester, he played at A&M. He was safety, linebacker, and stuff like that. And then ended up turning into cornerback, which is even more like I read where he basically said he cried when he found out that he had to play cornerback, because he said, shit, I've never backpedaled in my life. So just like, so that was crazy for him to even become that of the type of cornerback that he ended up becoming, which should give more credence for him to be in the Hall of Fame. But the story about why it's called a judge, they beat Texas twice. Everybody know I'm a Texas. Yeah, man, them guy, I like them both and whatnot. But Texas always Longhorn, because my high school was the Longhorns and whatnot. So it's like they had one of the top defenses in the nation, A&M, right? And stuff. I think he played with Pat Thomas, who was a nice cornerback in the league. Linebacker Jeff Seminai, or I can't remember his name off the top of his head, but it was a really nice college linebacker, and their defense was like that, right? I'm not sure if Jacob Green had played on that team. I'm not sure. He probably was a little bit later on, maybe. I'm not too sure, but who ended up playing for the Seahawks and ended up being a nice defensive end. But the reason why he's called a judge is because it stemmed from a statement that he made. He said our defense, A&M defense, was going to hold court on Earl Campbell, number 20, right? And they're going to hold court on Earl Campbell, right? And he said, now I sentenced him to 2 yards on 20 carries. Earl Campbell finished with 20 carries. Let me see, he finished with 20 yards on 18 carries. That right there in itself, that lore, that legend, and then you go on into him pro and what he did that 1980 season. I said, I don't think any, aside from probably Dick Knight, Train Lane, I don't think anybody ever would have had the impact that he put on the game and what he did. Remember, Hayes had 13. He had 5 in the playoffs. I told y'all guys this. He had 5 in the playoffs. He had 4 interceptions that was negated. 4 in the regular season that was negated because of penalty, right? Because of penalty, not anything that he did, but because of penalties. So you're talking about somebody who actually intercepted 13, 15, 13. 18. You talking about somebody that had possibly 22 interceptions. 22 interceptions. I'm like, that's why he's called the judge. And of course, Lester the molester. They also call it Lester because bump and run, you could fuck them guys up the way to me the way it need to be. But that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and that because I never knew, and I said, well, what do they call him the judge for? And then I was messing around, and it stems from him being called a judge because of that statement that he made. He said, our defense was going to hold court on Earl Campbell. And I sentenced him to 2 yards on 20 carries. But he ended up going 20 carries on 18 yards. Now, that ain't some legendary shit. If that is not no legendary shit, and legendary shit comes in all different phases. And then you talk about somebody from safety, linebacker, safety, whatever, and then move to corner. Come on, man. NFL, Pro Football Hall of Fame. Y'all need to get that man in. And I'm gonna probably go ahead and go back and probably do a joint on why Everson Walls, why he should be possibly be in the Hall of Fame. Might be not that deep, only because Everson, 4 Pro Bowl, but he led the league 3 times, dude. 3 times. He led the league 3 times in picks. That's saying something, right? That's saying something, and that needs to be recognized. And he has a ring, and he played for a lot of winning ball clubs with Dallas, and then ended up, going with the Johnson and later on Cleveland. But we'll talk about that some other time. But yeah, Hayes, that's why he's called the judge. Called the judge, Lester the molester, and all that other kind of stuff. So like I say, man, hey, Hall of Fame, get your shit together, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Smash that like button, subscribe to the page, and season coming up, man. I'm ready. All right, guys, have a good one.